We will give hi everyone. Welcome to Zebra's Summer Academy, Day 3, Acronis. We will give a few more moments to the people who might join us and who might struggling with some technical issues, but no matter of that, we will start with our session soon. So, as you can see, today's agenda on today's agenda is Acronis. It's first Zebra Summer Academy that we are organizing, and we are covering both regions that Zebra Systems distributor is covering, which is Czech and Slovakia, and second region we are covering from distribution point is Adriatic region, so ex-Yugoslavia, Albania as well. So thank you very much that you join us, and I would like to, okay, something was frozen, no matter that is summer. So Zebra Systems is value-add distributor, originally from Ostrava, Czech Republic, and today we will present you Acronis, which is part of our portfolio. Zebra Systems is collaborating with Acronis for many years, practically before Acronis become Acronis, and Zebra System is on the market over 25 years. With us today will be senior sales engineer from Acronis, Mr. Svetlin Yordanov, and myself, Nebojša Stankic, from Zebra Systems. So I would like to mention on this point that it's a third day in row with Zebra Systems Academy, Zebra Summer Academy, and one day to go. Tomorrow we will have one more session with Cloudflare and Virtuoso. So stay with us even tomorrow. For those who are with us, we have some rewards like Acronis football and a very nice bottle of Croatian wine, plus a very nice bottle of South African wine, which associates on general zebra of zebra's origin, where zebra is coming from. So let's mention just that previous year we got a prize as one of 1,000 fastest growing companies in Europe from Financial Times, which we are very proud of. So that's a brief introduction. Now we see what was during our academy in previous 2 days, and tomorrow, as I mentioned, Cloudflare plus Virtuoso. So be focused today on Acronis. I will take you a few minutes to explain a little bit of licensing in Acronis, and then we will continue with Svetlin and his technical presentation. So unlike in Czech and Slovakia, in Adriatic region, Acronis is not recognized well, and I think that's something that's a gap we can try to cover and to open this topic and give you material for thinking for the future about Acronis. So a lot of people knows and remember Acronis from the past as a true image solution. It was brilliant solution almost 20 years ago, which helped all of us to solve our problem with backup of one machine we couldn't recover on other machine. But more than that, people are not able to tell what is Acronis now. So here we can see that we will see Acronis existing portfolio, their idea in where they uh, are heading. So licensing is definitely something I wanted to share with you. And what we can see that Acronis is moving to enterprise strongly in last 10 years and in last 5 years beside backup strongly connecting security and backup and recovery solutions. Uh, why cloud? Why cloud? So on-premise solutions which we are mostly used in our region are great, but uh, in so dynamic environment where attackers have huge motivation to attack us and to push with ransom for our data and resources they jeopardize. um, Companies, security companies, are not uh, able to respond fast because all those different platforms on-premise platforms, it's not easy to test very good and to deliver to the partners and customers on time. So only solution is to use cloud as a platform for development and for fast development and deployment. That's a basic differentiator between cloud and on-premise solution. Uh, Second one is definitely that our customers and their workforces are not any longer in companies. Some of them are in companies, but because of COVID, a lot of them work from home. They work from home machines. They work from remote locations, and in that case, to be covered by on-premise solutions, these kind of customers should establish connection through VPN solution to be reachable to our administrators and be managed by on-premise consoles. But uh, weakness of VPN solutions is that in a case of poor connection, VPN cannot stand well, will break, and we are not in reach of our administrators. But you know what? Same moment we are on internet, we are uh, 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 or we could be attacked by malicious uh, software and attackers. That's a huge difference. With cloud solutions, with cloud security solutions, we are same moment we are online, we are protected. So these are two things which is good to have in mind and to share with your customers um, and to change their perception. So Cyber Protect Cloud of Acronis is definitely going this different this modern way. From licensing perspective, all those products you saw on my previous slide are able to be delivered to the customers uh, cheapest way, the cheapest model they have. In the case that they have their needs are like that all their customers should be protected equally, then it's maybe best and they have small amount of data, then it's easiest and cheapest way of per gigabyte or per workload. If they have limited number of customers they want to protect with a lot of data. Anyway, our partners will get access to the console and are able to adjust to every customer per his need. So on a customer level, customer cannot combine those two. He should decide which of them is best, which of those two models is best for him, and to use it, of course, with our partner's help. So here we see part of highlights what is best in Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud licensing. So it's easy, efficient, and secure way to protect your customer's environment. It's uh, more you have as a partner, less you will, yeah, less you will pay, and it's per monthly uh, payment. And of course, increasing your workload, your price is going down. And on top of that, uh, to convince your customers, it's great to have some grace period. So in our case, it's a 30 days trial period. So once more, we see that that uh, that Acronis has a huge portfolio, which when I was joined Zebra a year ago, I was very positively surprised by Acronis. And the major question I mentioned earlier is what is payable when what is free of charge. So on this slide, we see uh, marked rounded with the red pen what is all free of charge for you to offer to your customers as a benefit of using Acronis solutions. And yellow are definitely solutions customers should pay, but just per usage. And on top of that, we see as coverage of this igloo, we see what are advanced security solutions, which are payable as well. Some of them are already on the market. And for instance, today, we will technically present you advanced email security, and we see um, something which is already delivered by Acronis to the partners, and some solutions which are meant to be delivered in this year. On this slide, we can see what is included as functionalities at no cost to you and your customers. On other hand, we see what functionalities and solutions are um, payable. All those functionalities could be licensed per and charged per gigabyte or per workload. So um, I start explaining a little bit, but in more words, per gigabyte model is um, model that customers will pay per storage. Use storage where is included all type of flexibility of different cloud storage, third-party storage, and local storage. There's no limit on the number of protected workloads. And per workload model, we see that amount of storage does not play, but in this case is focus just on how many users are covered by the solution. So you won't be charged additionally if you're using local storage or service provider storage services. So what if we go deeply in per gigabyte licensing model? So the major questions are what are your clients' business requirements. If they have a high number of workloads that require protection and they have small amount of data per workload, then you can cover most probably with higher density of customers, and you can reach a lower price than per mm, workload licensing model. So here are questions how to approach workload licensing model. If you have a low number of customers with large data per workload, and of course local storage and service provider cloud storage is included in that case. So it's definitely it giving you flexibility how to approach every single customer, per his needs, per his business case and requirements, and be and beat other solution on the market. So we see how this calculation is going per gigabyte. So core cyber security functionalities plus backup plus local backup, backup to cloud plus backup to local cloud. So and no limits of number of protected workloads. Here is per workload calculation. Again, cyber security protection functionality plus number of workloads plus backup to the cloud. So it's free unlimited local storage and free service provided storage. So, and just to mention that because it's always good to mention Microsoft per gigabyte and per seat model exists, and these are basic bullets about licensing these kind of two models. And at the end of my presentation, before I give word to Svetlin, I want to mention that Zebra system has his own marketplace where you can easily become our MSP partner, when you get access to all Acronis and other solutions which we are offering, that are offered to the market as an MSP model, free of charge, without waiting. So that is my last slide, where I would like to remind you and invite you on tomorrow's presentation, which starts at the same time, and to thank you once more for your time. And I hope that some of you will get those prize I mentioned on the beginning of my speech. Svetlin, please continue with your presentation. Once more, thank you very much, and have a great rest of the summer.
Okay, yeah, so sharing my screen. I'm going to show you in the console actually how it looks like, all the all the things which Nebojša presented in the presentation. The platform actually consists of two main parts. One, the first main part is the management portal for managing the service provider activities. This is service provider tenants. You see here my the name of the tenant, Svetlin MSP. The tenant is with icon of office building, and this means that this is a service provider tenant. And also you can create here tenants for your customers, which are marked as house. And also you can group them in these folders. Once you start to create a tenant under your service provider tenant, then you can create customer folder or partner tenant. When you create, when you start creating customer tenants, then you can set it up either in trial or in production. The trial is for 30 days and it automatically goes into production if you didn't switch it already before that. You can at any time first disable and then delete the tenants. These are the two management modes. You saw before a minute in the other interface that one of the tenants was marked as no access. This means that this customer tenant is self-service. Self-service means that only the administrators of this tenant, this customer tenant, only their administrators can manage it. And as you can see here on that diagram, our platform is, as I said, multi-tier, multi-tenant. Here we are here in the root of the service provider tenant, and you can create folders, you can create partners, you can create customers. And if the management mode is self-service, then you manage the customer tenant by this customer administrator. If the management mode is managed by service provider, then you can manage with this partner administrator, you can manage devices and plans within the customer tenant. Regarding the security, there are two options. The first one is to switch on the two-factor authentication, which is highly recommended. And also from here, you can switch so-called enhanced security mode. In this case, only encrypted backups are allowed, and the customer is forced to put their password when the backup takes place. This is convenient for customers who say, okay, I want to give you a possibility to manage my device and plans, but I don't want you to see my data. So then in this case, it is good to select this enhanced security mode. And here we are creating this administrator, customer administrator here. And then we have to select services. Here, when you click this protection, this means the basic functionality. Basic functionality, standard functionality, these are the included features. And then on top of that, you can select either per workload or per gigabyte, and you can select the different advanced packages. Here in the tooltip, you can see the content of those advanced packages. And also in the customer tenant, you'll see in the protection plan that each functionality which is included in certain advanced package is marked with a green tooltip. So you can have orientation, which features to activate in order to allow some features to the customer and disable another features that you want to do so. As I said, it is per workload and per gigabyte model you activate it from here. And also you can select the file sync and share. We have again two modes per user and per gigabyte for file sync and share. This is advanced file sync and share, which is available within the cybersecurity package. And also you can select from here physical data shipping and notary to be used. As you can see here, all the clouds which Nebojša showed you, the Cyber Protect cloud, File Sync and Share cloud, Notary cloud, they are available to be selected as service to that specific tenant. And then you can create here, you can create quotas. For user, this is per user, for usages, for advanced file sync and share, and so on. Here you create the quotas, and you can put hard quotas and soft quotas. Once the tenant is being created, it pops up here. And as I said, if you need, you can disable and then delete it. When you disable it, all the backups are remaining, but the operations are stopped. The customer can not use the service, and when you delete it, everything is deleted. Another thing which Nebojša showed is the possibility to use your local storage. So here you see locations. This service provider account is being created in our EU3 data center, which is in the UK in London. If you want to have a service provider in another data center, it is possible. If your customers want to store data in exact data center, it is absolutely possible. You have to create your service provider account there. We have some partners who have 9-10 service provider accounts in different data centers. For example, some customers want to store their data in Switzerland. Some customers want to store their data in Vienna in Austria, or in Frankfurt in Germany, or in Amsterdam, or in the UK, or in Poland. You can easily see, currently we have more than, I think it is currently it is 31 plus 6, 37 data centers all around the world. There is a reference knowledge base article which shows which data center, what kind of services is available. And if you want to use your local storage, it is also possible to use it by our Acronis Cyber infrastructure. It is the same infrastructure as Virtuoso hybrid infrastructure, which you are going to discuss tomorrow. And with Acronis Cyber infrastructure, you can use it in as two main services. The first main service is as a backup gateway, and this gives you a possibility to connect iSCSI block storage, or S3 object storage, or NFS storage as a local destination, location here in your service provider tenant. This S3 object storage could be your local object storage, or could be any S3 compatible cloud to be connected as a backend storage as a location in your cloud. And also you can establish entirely software defined storage with storage cluster with many storage nodes using the Acronis Cyber infrastructure capabilities for software defined storage with erasure coding, with redundancy. All this is possible. And also you can establish it as S3 location, for example, for the file sync and share users, if you want to sell your local storage as well. You can fully rebrand the tenant, put your logo, your color schema here, and configure the URLs, your URLs, and everything to be absolutely customized to look like your corporate, according to your corporate identity. We have integrations with many systems. And here you see that we have integration with Enable and Central and Enable RMM. We have more integrations in our solutions portal here. All the integrations are shown here. And if you want to do a kind of custom integration, you can use our RESTful API. If this topic is interesting for you, ask for more information, and we can provide you detailed information how you can do this. Yeah, once the tenant is being created and the usage is being started, here there are plenty of reports which can be operational reports like widgets and dashboards, or can be usage reports that you can use for your billing systems to bill your customers. You can generate current usage, summary for period, day by day for period. And here you generate it in CSV format, which is human friendly for reading. But if you want to generate a more machine friendly report, you can do so by the API calls. You can generate CSV2 or XML reports. And once the customer tenant is being created and the service is being set up, then the next thing is to manage their devices and plans here. Talking about device, we have plenty of platforms as supported here. In Windows environment, you can search, there is a auto discovery possibility, and you can search the Active Directory or the local network, or import the devices from a file. There are a lot of platforms supported, workstations, Windows and Mac, servers, Windows and Linux, mobile devices even. And regarding the virtualization hosts, we support them in two major ways. The first way is agentless. Agentless, we support Virtuoso hybrid infrastructure, VMware, ESXi, Hyper-V, overt on Red Hat. Actually, we support any overt on any Linux distribution, but Red Hat is being officially tested. Scale computing, those 5 are supported agentless, and everything is supported agent-based with an agent on the virtual machine. On top of that, you can install on also application, agent, another agent for application-wire backup, or you can activate here the cloud-to-cloud applications like Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. And regarding the installation, we give you quite a good possibilities for automation to do unattended installation via token or via code. Once the agents are being installed and registered, then the next thing is to prepare our protection plan. Being here in the devices, I'll start first with Office 365. With Office 365, we cover everything, and you can apply on one item, let's say on one user, many different plans. For example, this plan is all mailboxes to cloud storage. You can browse the messages, find certain message, and then recover to original or to a custom location. Or you can have another plan. This is OneDrive, where you can browse the OneDrive content and then select image or folder, file or folder, and recover to the same or different location. We support here the classic sites in the site collections and modern theme sites in groups here, public folders, themes. In Teams, we backup, and you can recover the channels. These are the public channels, entire team, email messages, team sites, in a very granular way. Going to the plans here, you can set up the functionalities. And we have one unified protection plan, which gives you a possibility to set up backup, disaster recovery, antivirus and anti-malware protection, URL filtering, native Windows security, antivirus management, vulnerability assessment, patch management, data protection map, device control. I'm going to go briefly through all those functionalities. And I'll be focused more on disaster recovery, antivirus and anti-malware protection, vulnerability assessment and patch management, and device control. And will not spend too much time on backup because this is a known thing for you. If you, just to mention here that if you do an entire machine backup, one cool security thing is that you can collect forensic information. This is quite a unique capability, and it is quite a useful thing. When there is an incident, you can recover from the backup, but then if you have this forensic information, which is entire disk space, even an unallocated space, raw memory dump, and a snapshot of running process, then you can easily do investigations after that what has happened. And also, if you have here files and folders, you have another unique thing related to the backup, which is called notarization. Here it is being used our notary cloud. It is blockchain technology to do notarizations to prove that a certain file or folder or the entire backup is not being modified since it has been backed up. If you do entire machine backup, then you can use it for disaster recovery. How it works? Automatically, when you apply the plan, we spin up the cloud gateway on our end, and we create a recovery server from the last possible backup point. What does it mean and how it works? The first thing that you have to do is to establish connectivity here. We can make connectivity in 4 different ways. The first two ways is OpenVPN site-to-site and point-to-site. OpenVPN, you know that it is layer 2 a VPN connection, which means that we extend the local network. We extend it to the cloud. So you see here the local network. We extend it to the cloud. So the recovery and primary servers, which are put here in our disaster recovery cloud, they're in the same network like the original machines. If you want to, if the customer has many locations, then you can use multi-site IPsec VPN. IPsec VPN is on layer 3, and then you can you create a VPN between different networks. Then the networks cannot overlap, and the networks in the cloud are different. But it gives you a possibility to switch to multi-site VPN. Once the connectivity is being established, then we can create our recovery or primary servers. Recovery servers, they are created from a backup point. And actually for disaster recovery, the customer pays for 3 components. The first is the storage. The second is the compute points. This is the compute power. And the third one is if IP address is used. Here in recovery server section, if you create recovery server, you pay only for the storage. It is usually in a standby mode. At the moment somebody is testing. This is a demo environment used by all my solutions engineer colleagues. So somebody is doing test failover at the moment. So for that server, it is actually the customer is paying only during the failover time. The primary servers, they are a little bit different. They are created from, can be created from virtual machine templates. And once you define here the compute power that you need, you can define also hard disks. The network is the same. Internet access if it is needed for that machine, and if they need a public IP address. Once you create this, then the machine is being spun up, and you can use it immediately. So now you can go to that machine and connect to the console immediately. And primary servers can be used for high availability configurations with, for example, SQL servers or Oracle servers to create high availability configuration, for example, with Microsoft always on technology. and to replicate data in real time from the original SQL server to the disaster recovery server, which is existing as primary server in a high availability configuration with the original one. And then in this case, the RPO and RTO can be near to zero. You can automate everything with runbooks here. So you can create sequential steps. All the steps are executed sequentially. And within the step, you can create parallel actions. So in parallel, you can run failover or failback or start and stop server, or you can put manual operation. If there is a need to reconfigure DHCP and DNS settings, you can put manual workflow to do so, and you can execute another runbook. So you can create a chain of runbooks, and once there is a need, just to click execute the runbook, and then everything is fired up in the disaster recovery cloud. Going back to our plan here, to continue with the security functionalities, antivirus and anti-malware protection. We are often being asked, can I use, actually there are two main questions. The first main question is, can I use Acronis antivirus and anti-malware instead of any other antivirus? The answer is absolutely yes. And the second main question is, okay, I have NOD antivirus. Can I use only the anti-ransomware protection from Acronis and use anti-malware protection from another one? Yes, the answer again is yes, you can do so. In our solution, it is not simply, there are not simply different technologies which are put together, but they are acting as an integrated solution. And this active protection, which is anti-ransomware protection, is typical example for that. It is powered on a machine learning technology, and powered by our machine learning technology. And we monitor the process or processes. And once we detect that it is encrypting data in a malicious way, we stop the process and revert back the file changes from the service cache. So the user is completely unaware that there was a ransomware attack, but their data is staying unencrypted and clean because they have a reliable protection. Everything is fully automated. This is a classic example how the integration works between different security modules in our solution. We have also advanced anti-malware, which is classic signature-based anti-malware engine. We have also exploit prevention functionalities with code injection and session hijacking protection, privilege escalation protection, and so on. We have behavior engine, which is powered by our artificial intelligence-based heuristics. And all those technologies, they do so-called defense in depth or layered defense, and they allow us to achieve 100% or near to 100% catch rate, or 0% false positives or near to 0% false positives, and catching zero-day threats in real time. On top of the antivirus and anti-malware protection, we have also URL filtering, which is working on the endpoints, but it is with central management from here. And on top of the blocking the access to malicious URLs, we have also categories that you can set up to filter. I mentioned native Windows anti-malware management. You can manage it from here. Going to the vulnerability assessment, Acronis is in top 3, or maybe in number 1 as number of applications that we can monitor and do vulnerability assessment. We cover Linux packages, Microsoft products, Windows third-party products, Apple owned products, macOS third-party products. And once you do vulnerability assessment, then you can create fully automated workflow for patch management. You can define per workload, per application, what kind of category of patches to go automatically, with what kind of severity patches to go automatically. Or if you want, you can put manual interaction. If you say only approved patches go, then later you can define which patch is approved and which not. Another cool functionality, which is again example how different security technologies talk to each other, is to run backups before installing software updates. They appear as recovery points amongst the others. And if there is a blue screen of that or something wrong with after the patching, then you can easily roll back. A data protection map. This is monitoring and giving a heat map view of the status of the files with those extensions. Are they being backed up or not? And then we have our device control functionality. This is DLP functionality. You can control the devices, how the devices on the local workload are being used. Here you see which functionality is available for Windows and which for Mac. The control is very granular. For example, we control the clipboard. Separately, we control the screenshot capture, the incoming and outgoing clipboard. And if you say deny all here, then later you can define the allow list of certain USB devices to be used, or you can define here allow list for exact USB devices which can be used. We maintain here a special section for software management where once you set up the protection plan, then you get here the vulnerabilities, all the vulnerabilities encountered during the vulnerability scanning. And here you see that if you have this icon, you can apply immediately this patch on the affected machines and applications. If you have this question mark, this means that for this vulnerability still there is no patch, but it is being protected by our our exploit prevention functionality. This is patches section, where you can define which patch is approved or not. And then from here directly you can apply this patch on these affected machines. We maintain full software and hardware inventory. We have quite a rich in-functionality dashboard with many widgets which allow you to do the remote management and monitoring. And we maintain full software and hardware inventory of the workloads, which is working both on virtual machines and physical machines. Another cool functionality is threat feed. Threat feed is coming from our security cyber protection operations center, and it announces in real time certain malicious threats like malware, vulnerability, and from here you can immediately, if you see such an announcement, you can immediately apply so-called a smart protection plan. You see here that it gives you a possibility to apply it immediately on the affected machines. With this, this is regarding these machines, this is regarding that machine, and so on. And you can apply the smart protection plan directly from here. So going to email security, which I'm going to finish with my demonstration, and then we'll have some time for questions and answers. Email security is powered by perception point. So once you come here, you go in the X-ray console of the perception point portal to manage the email security. You can set up services for Office 365, for Gmail, also for on-site Exchange servers, and for other email servers as well, for example, Zimbra. In the first two cases, no MX record change is required. Everything works with API integration. With Exchange and other, it is required to change the MX records and to point to that email server. So once you set it up, the service, then you can manage it and use the security features. Actually, there is again layered defense here. You see that there is a mail routing, policy enforcement, anti-spam, threat intelligence, antivirus by antivirus signatures, anti-phishing engine, business email compromise, which is DMARC and DKIM analysis, native code analysis within the files. Everything is working as a pipeline in order to allow you to have clean email. The idea, as I mentioned, the idea is to have one single agent, one console to manage all those functionalities from one place. But as I said, this is not a mechanical bunch of different security functionalities. It is an integrated solution. So different security modules talk to each other, allowing you to have automation, to have application of machine learning and artificial intelligence technology in order to protect against different threats. I'm going to stop here and leave some time for questions and answers. I have that we have some 5 minutes left for questions and answers. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the chat.
So it seems there are no questions so far. Maybe one question for you, Svetlin, as we have partners here in the webinar, how they can access some training materials.
Trainings, very important topic. So you should have, as partners, you should have access to the partner portal, and then within the partner portal, you have special training section here, and here you see that there are 4 categories. It is technical trainings, all technical trainings here, related to the cloud solutions, which is for the MSPs in the cloud, and also for the classic products here. You have all the trainings, technical trainings available here. These are the courses for the salespeople. For integrations, it is highly recommended to take first this developer course. It is also available in the solutions portal, in the developers portal, which is developer.acronis.com. Here, there is this CyberFit developer training available, and this is the Cybersecurity Foundation. So all trainings and exams can be accessed from here.
Thank you very much. So no other questions I can see in the chat. I just want to remind that this webinar, similar to the previous webinars, is recorded. And after the end of the Zebra Summer Academy, you will get the link to the recordings and use presentations.
One of the questions regarding the patch management is usually being asked, how can we manage the network traffic when we do patch management. So here in settings, you can define a schedule exactly when the protection definitions to be updated. They are stored locally in a service cache. There is in the documentation is described in which directory is stored the cache, the local cache to store the definitions, and the definitions include antivirus, anti-malware definitions, also vulnerability assessment definitions and patch management definitions, those three components. And also you can define so-called updaters. They take they upload the definitions there, and all the other agents take the definitions from them. Here in the plans, you can create the schedule for the patch management and vulnerability assessment when it is going to take place, and you can use those three things to set up appropriate schedule so that your network not to be overloaded. Here, for the vulnerability assessment, it's the same for the patch management. You can set up the conditions. For example, if the workstation is hibernated or in a sleeping mode, then you can wake it up, or you can put another conditions to run the vulnerability assessment and the patch management. Those capabilities give you a possibility to manage the network traffic, to set up updaters, and then to make the appropriate schedules.
So no new questions, and our time reserved for today's webinar is almost over. So I would like to thank you, Svetlin. I would like to thank to all the participants, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar, and we are looking forward to see you on the next webinars.
Thank you all. Thank you for participation.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.